George. I'm going to do a walkthrough of the pump outs here and kind of show what the equipment is called and then how you would start it up. Well, starting back over right here, water comes in from the outside after these are connected, and this is what we call the OWS pump, which actually sends the water over to the oil water separator, which is the aluminum tank right down here at the end. There's a electrical cylinder control valve that says when the water is low in it, it actually turns itself on. So the water from there would come down, flow itself past this centrifugal separator here, the orange one, and it'll actually then send the water over to the inside oil water separator. On the centrifuge here, it actually has a automatic purge, so every hour it'll open. If any extra dirt gets in, it'll actually purge it back to the tank. As the water comes over back over here, water comes in, we split it two ways and basically keep the valve full bore. So it comes in, it goes across the grids right here, which helps collect smaller particles of dirt and help separate and clean the water before it goes in the filters. As we move on over here, these are the grids. This is the waterfall area. When it's in operation, the water will go up and down, and then before it goes out to the filter pump, which is located here down at the bottom. When the filter pump comes on, we have the valve set in two directions. We have it, the main one coming across goes through the filters, and actually as it goes out the filters, it comes up and goes out. And we run them here come across here, we have a flow meter, and we're going to run that at 60 GPM. The second one is a bypass, because the pump will pump a lot more water than what we're sending. We bypass some of the water into the tank right here, and it's product in the tank, so it bypasses, so we're not just overheating and deadheading that pump. As the water comes down here, these are the Micron filters. Micron filters, these are filters you may end up just cleaning and changing once a day, depending on the dirt loading. It may be once a week. Back up a second, here is the multimedia filters, which they are water comes in through the top, then it comes out the bottom, and we have a controller here that sets it. You can be set. It's got different videos showing it being set, but it'll sit here and it will automatically backwash during the operation. Let's say whatever they've got it set on might be for each tank 5 minutes for every hour. So that even though we're running, one of these filters could be being backwashed and all the water being diverted to this one. Then they switch back and forth. As the water makes its way through the filters, it comes in here, and this is the holding tank for the high pressure pumps. And there we just get there, gravity feeds out, and we feed. This is high pressure 2, and we have high pressure tank number 1 there. Well, we have the main valves right here for the water, and then up in the top here, this float right here is an NC float. So when it's in the down position, it's going to close, and it will let the water fill up. The top one here will take and shut it off when it's filled up high enough. And so this also tied in to let, if you run out of water in the tank here, it'll also shut down the whole system if it goes too low. This one here will be actually filling the water. This one here will be actually there in the part shutting it off if it gets down too low. If you're wondering why, oh, what's happening? They shut down. Come in and check this, and you have to work yourself backwards. On the high pressure pumps here, it has the gauges so you can read it. A lot of guys run 3,000. I put a yellow line at 3,500, but max pressure on this is 4,000 psi. We did it for both of them. And then over here, each one has its own heater. And there's if you want to run the heater on the HP1 or on HP2, you basically turn the switch on, the burner's light with the flow control switch. Once the water is flowing through it, the burners will actually light. In the meantime, when you turn this on, right here, this damper will actually open up. And so it's in the open position, So all the exhaust goes out. And when you close it, it'll close itself back down. At the same time, if the door's closed, there's a vent on the back here, and there's a fan up here in the front. When everything's energized and the power's on, that'll actually draw a draft through the building for combustion air. This pump here is a flush bar pump. This is 64 gallons a minute and 400 psi. This will actually be used for the flush bar, or this one I said a wash down pump. If you want a wash down, and at the end of the day, be a lot faster. Each one's have their own power disconnects on them. One other thing back here, when running the high pressure pumps and you run the heat, it creates condensation. So we have condensate pumps down here. So there's a pan there, water run here, and you keep the water off the floor. It'll transfer back over to the OWS tank. Your fuel for the burner right here, we've got marked diesel fuel, and there's a little sight gauge on it. And it's got valves. Just make sure people don't shut the valves off on you because you won't get fuel. Another thing that uses fuel in here are these EPSCAR heaters. Right here, you can actually turn the controls on the temperature when there's two 7,000 BTU heaters in here, and this building is insulated with 2 inches of foam, so more than adequately keeps the heat up real good for it. And the floor on the other side actually has about 4 inches of foam insulation down through. You gotta make sure these valves are on when they're in the off position right now, but we'll flip them on when we're gonna run here in a little bit, and then just have to make sure everything is set up, look it over. I mean, this is a daily routine. This, just so you know, this valve up here is a backwash valve. It's set about 2.5 to 3 turns open, so when it backwashes, it doesn't backwash too much that it will blow media out. It has to keep some back pressure on. So if you have a company here and someone's closed that valve needs to be open. If it's closed, it'll never backwash. We have guys that come out and done that by mistake. Oh, we closed it up, we saw it was open, and cost themselves a little bit of problems. Back over here, it's inside here. Your disconnects where we have variable frequency drives in here that automatically slowly bring the pumps up if you just kick them back on. And this is the disconnects for transformer down here. Will bring it down to the 220 volt and the 110. We got the 240 volt. Then inside here we actually have, as you see, there are the 110 volt outlets, and then the 110 volt controls are in here too. And then actually, and back here is a 12 volt power transformer, and that's what runs the 12 volt Escobar heaters. Right here, there's something we added to it. This is a sludge pump. I'll have a hose. If you can disconnect it or connect it back down over here on the bottom. Take the cap off. And you want to drain this. This may be depending on your dirt loading. You might do it once a week. You can do it every 2-3 weeks. We just really don't know. And we have a hose that'll connect to this that you can actually pump the water out, pump it back out to the tank, pump it back out to the hopper, and you're able to then grab these grids, lift the grids up, pull them out, the water's out of it, and then you can use this as a vacuum. Just come off the sides here, cap that back up, and connect a shorter hose to it with like a vacuum tube, and any of the sludge you'll be able to vacuum out, and then we'll pump it out for you. Well, that's pretty good for right now, and then I'll do one on actually running the system.